have your script. But just because you're done writing, it doesn't mean that the hard work is over. You're only just beginning. And just exactly what do you think you're doing? I know you're excited to animate and get into all the action, but you must do some preparation first. Get your hands dirty with pre-production. In here, you get everything you need ready before you start animating. Break down your script for the character and background design. Start making the sound design and laying it all out on the storyboard and animatic reel. The most important task is selecting what type of animation you want to make. After that is determining the style. What colors will you be using? What will your characters and backgrounds look like? In the pre-production stage of a live-action film, the crew starts casting talents and scouting for locations. But since this is animation, you have to make your own. It can take some time before you can decide on how your characters will look like. Start researching. Find references and study real-life people, drawings, and other visual art forms to get ideas. Get back to the script and analyze the character's personality. Draw on paper or on the computer. Just let the ideas flow. Your characters have an identity, a personality. Use these to decide how they will look. Keeping in line with the animation's chosen style, use the character's story to determine the colors, clothes, and other identifying marks. Differentiate him from the other characters by adding details and characteristics that fit his personality. Highlight the differences and similarities between various characters for dramatic or humorous effect. Characters should hold the audience's attention. Make them appealing by keeping them strong and simple. When you've decided on the final look of your characters, make a model pack. Both 2D and 3D animation will need this. It has the different expressions, turnarounds, and size comparisons between the different characters. They will help you be consistent with how your characters look. Your set of characters is now complete. Now it's time to start working on the backgrounds. Backgrounds are important in telling a story. With just one look, you know where and when the story is happening. You also get the mood and atmosphere of the animation. A forest is a forest, but a forest where scary things live is different from a forest where families hold picnics. Backgrounds make the characters stand out. Props also help our characters. They reveal characters' personalities, and they can contribute to the story's progression. Background and props design should still follow the overall look of the animation. Like characters, they should also be easy to animate. Keep the design simple and not so detailed. With your characters and background ready, you've got the visuals covered. Now it's time to make the audio part, unless you're making a silent film. Look through your script. Aside from dialogue from your major and minor voices, what other sounds will you need? What sound effects? Ambient sounds? What kind of music will go with a certain scene? In the pre-production stage, recording the voices of your characters is one of the most crucial steps. Look for voices that match the character's physical attributes. You can hold auditions to have more options for voices. When your cast is assembled, record them acting out the dialogue of the animation in a recording studio. A recording studio will have the equipment you need. The recording engineer makes sure the audio recording goes smoothly, watching out for voice quality, intelligibility, line accuracy, and appropriate signal levels. The director helps the voice actor in interpreting and developing the assigned roles. After a recording, the audio engineer now works on the audio track. He cuts and splices the dialogue according to the script. He cleans up the track, removing long gaps of silence and other unnecessary sounds. He includes sample music and sound effects. The audio track he produces will set the pace and beat of the animation. This track, also called a scratch, will be included in the animatic reel. If this were a cooking show, the chef would tell you to put the character, background, and sound design aside, because now it's time to make the storyboard. But before you do, here are some terms that will help you out. Not only with making the storyboard, but also with the whole animation process. A scene in animation is a piece of uninterrupted action between transitions. Transitions are effects put in between scenes to simulate the passing of time, change of location, or the change of mood, action, or point of view. Examples of transitions are cuts,
Naku! Patay!
fade in, cross dissolves, wipes, and fade out. Aspect ratio is the size of the screen, usually the width divided by the height. You're familiar with this, maybe you just don't know it. The 4:3 aspect ratio is the most common. You see it in televisions. The 16:9 aspect ratio is reserved for films. You need to know what aspect ratio you will be using, so when you make your storyboard, you'll know what size of panels to use. 4:3 for standard screens, and 16:9 means wider rectangular panels. Frame rates are also important because this will dictate how many frames you need to animate for what you are making. Film speed is 24 frames per second. Television is 30 frames per second. And there you have it, a partial list of things you should know about animation. Character and background designs, sound design, scenes, aspect ratio, and frame rates. Of course, this list will continue to grow as you continue the animation process. But for now, this will do, because it's time to make the storyboard and animatics.